Alright, ladies and gents, are you ready for some more action? I certainly am. I am very much looking forward to this one. So here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to welcome you to the GSL Duel site, and to bring you LiquidSheth. He is in the purple trunks, and he is playing Zerg to the west of this map versus his opponent. It is Team Grubby.Grubby. He is in the green trunks, and he is playing Protoss to the east. Grubby is currently up 2-0 in this Club3D Best of 7 Showmatch series. Ho! What a start, and that was not predicted in the thread, honestly. They were predicting a very close series, but so far, Grubby's done incredibly well. Grubby looking to forge fast expand once again, by the looks of it, pile on down to the bottom of the ramp here. So, Sheth is going to have to fight pretty hard. We saw the first game, he fell on Atlantis spaceship to a Stargate behind a forge fast expand into Colossus transition. He was forced to build too many Hydras, and then to defend against Colossus Death Ball. His method of defense was to use Baneling bombs into the center of the Death Ball. It failed simply because Grubby's micro was too good. Grubby was able to micro out of the way of the Banelings, no problem whatsoever. The second game, he fell to an 8-gate, massive execution push with a Warp Prism. It's a nasty strategy. It involves taking out the main ramp by walling it off with force fields, and then warping in rounds of 8 units behind it. It's really hard to deal with. Incredibly difficult if you don't know it's coming. Which is unfortunately the position that Sheth was in. He did not know what was coming. He did not see it on its way. And that was a big problem. Let's see what Sheth can do after this. He's gone for the pull first. Admittedly, this time, he's actually varying things up because he's gone for the extractor. Now, the last 2 games, he's gone for a gasless build, whereby he's only been taking gas at around 40 supply. Sheth's gone immediately into gas here. That's interesting. That indicates a shift in tactics here by Sheth. It's going to give him access to a much earlier lair, for instance. It's going to give him access to the potential for a big bust. He could go for a straight-up roach bust. Doesn't want to let Grubby get too comfortable on 2 bases. There's also the possibility of all manner of things. Gas unlocks a potential for early aggression that he wouldn't otherwise have. If you don't have gas, getting aggressive against Forge Fast Expand is... It's not impossible, but it's very difficult. I think that's what you've really got to consider. But what are you going to do? Use slow links? That's not going to work out very well. Cannon slaughter them. Grubby's even going for 2 cannons here. Did he? Yes, he did scout the gas, so going double cannon, very sensible. He's even walled in that cannon, actually. That's really nice. I like that a lot. Any chance of going melee against that cannon is mostly denied. There's this tiny little area here, but the cannon's been walled in by the pylon and the nexus, so it's very difficult to hit. Also means that getting a good engagement angle on it, with roaches, for instance, will be difficult. Sheth's able to get a scout on there. He's going to see 1 cannon. He will see the second. Or maybe not. He will see the second. It's a nasty, tight wall-off. He's going to have to assault that directly if he wants to get through it. He can't really sneak around. It's going to be too difficult to do, especially if a build... Actually, can you even get through there? That's a good question. I don't know if you can. Whatever the case, Grubby has created a nice defense here. In the meantime, Sheth has grabbed that hatchery. The question is, does he go for an early third? He does, once again. But he's gone with an early third with gas this time. Now, he went... I assume he just went for speed. Yep, that's exactly what he did. He pulled out of gas on 100. So he's not going for too early a layer here yet, so no kind of 2-base bust is happening from Sheth. Sheth's getting to the point where he's going to need to start transferring down. That hatchery is now complete, so I'd expect to see a drone transfer right about now. Well, there you go. And the question is, what does Grubby have in his sack of tricks this time around? Because what we've seen from him are these big 2 to 3 base, just kill everything pushes. He wins with 1 push. It's as simple as that. That 1 attack is what kills Sheth. The question is, how does Sheth deal with it? Probably now looking around, scouting out, seeing what he can see. Not too much around this area. Not too much for him to concern himself with. A couple of scouting lings also looking for the possibility of hidden pylons. Maybe even hidden stargates, who knows. Roach Warren on the way up for Sheth. Still not taking the lair too early. So an early lair would be really before the 6.5-minute mark. At this point, not so much. Going for the Roach Warren instead. 3 more gateways being added on by Grubby so far. Let's have a look at how much gas he's got. He's only mining from 1 assimilator. So it will be gateway heavy for the moment. He's got 5 gates. No sign of a robo yet either. There's nothing stopping him just putting on some nasty pressure here. 3 zealots, his token 3 zealot force now moving in. However, there are a lot of speedlings available here. +1 is not done. Nice positioning there by Grubby. The lings are going to have difficulty getting in there, but of course it doesn't really matter because those zealots are not going to be able to attack anything yet. He could just wait there if he wants until all that needs to happen, though, is a roach to come out from Sheth, like that, and then he's got to move. He can't just sit there. He's only safe for as long as these lings are the only thing up against him. Not really sure what that was all about. He's just poking and trying to take down the shields of a single zealot here, I think. But he can, again, he can just wait for the roaches. There you go. Now they're dead. They really have no possibility. And there goes the surround. +1's not done yet either, so this was the anti-timing right here for Grubby. Bare minimal losses done, and Chef cleans that up, no problem whatsoever. Now, the question is, where does Grubby go from here? He's still on 5 gateways. There's his robo behind that, so we could see some Warp Prism harassment once again. He has now taken all 4 gas, though, so I'm expecting either Immortal Heavy or Colossus, straight through to Colossus. That's a possibility there. You don't need 4 gas for 1 robo and 5 gates. So we'll see what he decides to do there. A couple of roaches now on the field. I like the fact that Sheth is not overcommitting too much with the building of the roaches here. He wants to take down that pylon. Unfortunately, he can't do it. And now an aggressive warp in by Grubby is going to start menacing that third. And now, of course, Sheth's going to start pumping the units out. He knows that he can't defend that with a few lings. He's got more on the way. The problem is that that's a zealot heavy composition and they're +1, so these lings aren't upgraded. They'll be sliced apart very quickly. I think he needs a heavier roach composition. He knows that as well, and he's building his own. Putting a couple of spine crawlers down as well, and funnily enough, Grubby actually lets that die, which is unexpected. That even supply blocks Grubby. By the looks of it, it is going to be immortal. No sign of the Colossus Den as of yet. Grubby, what you up to? Gateway and Immortals is pretty nice. Nothing wrong with that against Ling Roach. Nothing whatsoever. The question is, what does Chef do against it? Roach Hydra works pretty well against that. Might be something to consider for him there. Warp Prism is on its way. Does Grubby build more than 1 Immortal? That's the burning question on my mind here. Oh, no! Oh, that was so very, very close. It's going to die anyway, I think, by the looks of it, but at least it's able to take up... It lives? Wow. Okay. Ooh, that was so close. Grubby almost lost that Immortal. That would have been absolutely devastating. So, that's 11 more drones on the way up for Sheth, as well as Economy's looking in really good shape. Also bringing out Spire, going for Mutaplay here. That's nice, I'm liking that. That's going to shut down Warp Prism play rather effectively. And of course, as we're well aware, Protoss do have some issues dealing with a lot of Mutalisks. In the meantime, it's still roaches on the ground here. We are going for the Robo Bay, going through to Colossus, so the Spire will stand him in good stead right there. Chef wants to hold this for as long as he can without committing his forces. And there you go, he's able to get a good few stabs off with that. Force field's now deployed, however the Roaches are getting a good arc of fire regardless. So it doesn't really matter all that much, and Grubby actually has blocked off his Zealot's attempt to get in there and do damage. So I feel that actually the Force fields helped Chef a little bit more there. Third now going down for Grubby. Looking for the Colossus transition. Once the Colossi come out, it's going to be a case of, well, can't really hold on to Lings for too much longer. Lings just die too fast to Colossi. They become a little bit useless, especially when the upgrades are heavy. Grubby's only got +1 at the moment. There's the 4th being taken by Sheth. Macro Hatch going down as well. Right over here. Sheth's economy's in a really good place. 74 drones. His opponent lagging behind in that respect. His opponent's army not so big this time around as well. Supply count 132 to 112. There's the army supply difference between these two. 58 to 53. And there's the Colossus out as well. A little bit of Overlord scouting. He knows what he's doing. And in the meantime, it's an attempt of harassment here by the Warp Prism. Pulls most of the drones off the line here. The sentry's in place, but it can't really do anything, so it hasn't been all that effective. Actual units killed, not too many. Grubby's only killed 4. And 2 killed by Chef, so he doesn't really have to worry too much about that. There's a large flanking force of Bling Roach up to the top right here. Wants to try and menace that third, but Grubby knows. He knows. He's aware of what's coming in his direction. The Death Ball isn't that scary yet, but it could start to be. The nice thing about this for Sheth is that he's in a good spot to start doing some really serious harassment. If he gets enough mutas to be able to just blast down photon cannons, then Grubby's going to be really hard-pressed to defend it. His Stalker count is very, very low. And Grubby also, does he actually know about the Spire? He doesn't. That's... Ooh, he might have seen that muter. Yes, he knows now. But yeah, his Stalker count is really low. He's only just now building the Twilight Council. He doesn't have really a good answer at all to that. Oh, wow! That Warp Prism sneaks in, threading the eye of a needle right there. Sheth is prepared for it with Lings on the ground. There's only a single sentry there, so it's not going to do all that much. And here it goes. Muta's over there, and Roach's over here. Sheth going for a two-pronged attack. Admittedly, Sheth not actually microing there. Now, there we go. Trying to do some damage with it. Those Roaches will be caught out of position, but this Muta count is pretty dangerous. Can he get a good arc? Yes, he can, and it looks like that Nexus may very well go down here, taking some damage. Stalker's being warped in to try and deal with it. Sheth needs to try and micro some of those Mutas out of the way. He's going to just dedicate to killing this. I don't blame him, honestly. It's probably worth the trade, and then get the hell out of there. Here he goes. No blink available, and by the looks of it, only 2 or 3 Mutas killed for the price of a Nexus. Very cool. The Roach attack didn't really do much, admittedly. The workers lost. Sheth has managed to do some damage here, and now the counterattack comes in from Grubby. However, I feel that Sheth should be able to prepare for this quite nicely. If he gets the Roach count up, and he also keeps his Muta count pretty high, doesn't lose it, and high, free Warp Prism donated right here. Oh, is he getting away with that one? It looks like he is. He's got the... Nope, never mind. He could have had it there, I feel. I don't know, actually. That had a... It had the upgrade. Yeah, the Mutas do move slightly faster, but he's more worried about what's coming in his direction right now. Grubby crashes into the natural. 2 Colossus doing incredible damage here. Enough Stalkers as well to repulse this, and Sheth not responding yet. He knows that his response has to be perfect. If not, then this push could crush him. Down goes the natural. Nasty base trade right there as Grubby takes 1 for 1, an eye for an eye. Macro Hatch taking severe damage as well, and how does Sheth engage against such a nicely composed force? It's going to be difficult. Force field going down right now. Links come in from the side, but they're perfectly blocked off. Those force fields, very, very good. The Muta's doing as much damage as they can. Plus 1 armor upgrade, though. Will he be able to get the cleanup? And there he goes. Nicely done there by Sheth. The Muta count was too high for his opponent to deal with. And the Lings on the ground. Target fired the Stalkers down very nicely. So it's base for base right there. Drone count still higher for Sheth, though. And Sheth is on 4 bases. So this doesn't really make a lot of difference to him. He's able to mine from this base, no problem at all. Indeed, does Grubby know about it? He does not. Blinkstalk is now in play, wanting to deal with that Muta count, but that's giving Sheth an opportunity to really bulk up on his Roaches and actually build a larger ground army. Blinkstalker versus Roach, of course, is absolutely fine, but if you're also dealing with Mutas, then things can become a little bit hairy. In comes once again another Warp in, a little bit of attempted harassment here. And Warp into the back right there with the Warp Prism, but down it goes. There's the cancellation, and that Spire is not going anywhere. Sheth deals with that no problem whatsoever. Things looking up right here for Sheth. After taking some severe punishment, the supply difference is huge. Admittedly, a lot of that is Roaches, but that's still a lot of damage, and the Colossus count it's just not there. He's relying now on pure Blinkstalker, which, against Ling Roach, just isn't going to work all that well. Sheth's upgrades are looking good as well. There's an aggressive Blink right here. Grubby goes for it. Will he be able to do the necessary damage here? Once again, the mineral line taking significant punishment. Zealot finally moves down here, but will be taken out no problem at all by that Roach and Spine Crawler. Stabby. And Sheth's economy still in a great spot. Another force coming in after that third. Plenty of cannons on the ground. Will it be enough to stop that many Mutas, though? I don't know. Plus 2 is on its way as well. Muta count at 17. There's the quick blink, and he needs to get... He does not want to engage there. Loses a few Mutas, and Grubby's control looking very, very good there. But Grubby is forced to defend multiple fronts, and this is where things start to get really messy as a Protoss. His response is going to be to go for High Templar. Going straight to Archon here, which is fairly interesting. Archon do okay against Mutas, but they can be very easily outmaneuvered, which is the real problem with them. They're a little bit bulky, and of course they don't actually have a lot of range either, so it's a bit of a problem. Look at that. Triple plus 2 upgrades coming in from Sheth. Things looking very nice for him. A couple of free Roaches donated to the Grubby charity here. Unfortunately, that means that the Mutas get a perfect opportunity to go in there and do some damage. There's not enough air defense in that mineral line. Oh my! Messy. Sheth's taking full advantage of that, as you can very clearly see here. Oh, that mineral line. Not much left of it. Not after that. Some nice play here by Sheth. Really good harassment. The mineral line takes severe punishment. 29 workers killed to 12. The harassment of Grubby hasn't been good enough. In the meantime, here come a few Zealots into the mix. Stabby, stabby once again. Once again, though, cleaned up, no problem. Even the Archon just gets overwhelmed by the sheer number of units. Good surround there, and the +2 ripping through the Archon. Upgrades trying to catch up here for Grubby, but he's severely behind in that respect. +2/+2 is now done for the Roaches, if I recall correctly. Never mind, it's done for the Roach attack and the Ling attack. +2 ground carapace is going to be done, and the upgrade advantage here seems almost untenable for Grubby. He's going to have to get some amazing engagements here. Mutalisks now on their way back. He's lost a great number doing damage to Grubby in the process, but this is a really awkward spot, and he's got no force fields or zealots to buffer this damage. Stalker's getting ripped to shreds right here as the Lings come in. Most of those Roaches at least block behind the force fields now, but it doesn't matter. Mutas come in from the flank as well. Grubby is thrown backwards. Supply count plummeting. Sheth playing this one really, really well. There is the cleanup in the center, and if Sheth just pushes now, it's most likely just going to end up being good game. 77 to supply at 198. That's... I don't care how good your micro is, you ain't stopping that. Here come the Roaches. +2/+2. Massive upgrade advantage, massive supply advantage. No upgrades for you, he says, as he shuts the Forgers down. Oh my. Sheth can just kill him right now, and he probably should, honestly. He's... Oh, don't know what's going on with the lag there, but he really should just go for it. I think he realizes it. He wants to go in for the kill. Warp Prism coming out here from Grubby to try and keep him in the game, but it's grim. It's really grim. A straight-up attack on the third base should kill it without too much of a problem here. Even a fifth base coming down for Sheth. Roach streams its way in. Has a look around, sees what he can see. But that is what I'd be concerned about. Look at the size of that. Huge Roach death ball coming in. Ling streaming in from all sides. The Blink Stalker's coming in from the back right here to try and deal with them. But a straight blink in, and Sheth just kills the Nexus and just wanders off. He doesn't care. Loses a couple of Roaches, no big deal. Even Infestor's coming down to lock this in, but as I say, he can just kill him right now. He's got no problem with that. He can go in and kill him. There's nothing that Grubby's got here to stop him. Long distance mining. The income is looking fairly dire here for Grubby. Not liking the look of this. Not one little bit. Not really sure what Sheth's waiting for, honestly. Maybe a few Infestors, I suppose. The counter-attack here by Grubby. A couple of Zealots make their way into the mineral line, but not too many workers killed. 32 to 17 thus far. But Sheth about ready to be maxed out. Immortals and High Templar on the way. No Storm available, however. So this is straight up for Archon here. Or, of course, feedback on those Infestors. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though. It's very polite, honestly, by Sheth to give Grubby the opportunity to rebuild here. I'm not sure if he knew just how far ahead he really was. But I have a feeling once he maxes out here, he's going to go, and there's nothing he can do. And, oh, wow, Grubby's even going into the center of the map. He's going to end up getting outflanked here, potentially. If he gets fungled down, the majority of his army's going to die. He can kill that base, but he's still not dealt with this one to the top here. And here comes the flanking position. Oh, my, the Immortal caught out and annihilated very rapidly. Sheth now moving in. He shouldn't be able to cut... I don't know, he looks like he might be able to cut those Stalkers off. Oh, my, interception coming in right here. Sheth going for it, a quick blink, and the majority of those Stalkers get away. Some damage done, not too much. Ooh, things getting really hairy here. To be fair, they have been for Grubby for the last 10+ minutes. Admittedly, the drone count's got significantly lower after taking that base down, but it's nothing Sheth can't fix with a simple round of units here, and honestly, that means his army is scary large. 185 supply at 103. Looks like he's finally going to go for it. There's not even a base being re-put up here. Storm is now coming in, but there's only 2 High Templar. It's not going to make all that much of a difference, and this army from Sheth should just be able to march through and stomp its way in. Here comes some feedback action, but there's the fungal at the front. Doesn't hit too many units there. Plenty of probes being killed. Sheth just needs to get a good arc in. He's able to focus fire on those High Templar, but Grubby definitely maneuvers them out of position. Grubby getting as much of a concave as possible up against these Roaches here. Feedback popping down once again, and Grubby holds it, but my god, he is down to 48 supply. He's got nothing left. There's the GG, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit delayed, I feel, but that puts Grubby down 1 game. Sheth starting to make his way back into this. Nicely played there by both players, but really impressive straight-up macro game there by Sheth. Very well played, very well defended. Nothing wrong with what he did there. Alright, folks, we're back with the next game very shortly. Do not go anywhere. Much more action in store right here. Oh, yes.